I'm just going to ask that if you all stay on mute throughout the webinar. We have set it up so that you get muted on entry, but if you could just ensure you don't change the settings, it would be appreciated. Otherwise, we'll just get a lot of background noise, and it can be distracting for the presenters and the audience. So obviously today we're going to be covering the RAC product, which is exclusively available through Key Choice membership. Feedback from the customers was that whilst we have the RAC as an add-on, there was also a need for a standalone breakdown product as well. So today's session will be focusing on the standalone, or otherwise termed unconnected product, i.e. those not linked to a main motor policy. Just by way of introductions, my name is Ian Arnott, and I'm one of the sales managers within SSP. Also on the webinar, we have Simon Berry, who is the RAC Relationship Manager. We have Martin Randall and Mark Sharp, both from SSP's training and implementation team. Martin will be providing an overview of the products together with Simon, and then Mark will be showing you how they're administered within Pure Broking. If you do have any questions during or after the presentations, because everyone is on mute, we'll be asking that you email questions directly to us. Now, the email address for that is trainerline@ssp-worldwide.com. So that's trainerline, all one word, at ssp-worldwide.com. So time permitting, we'll answer these questions at the end of the session. Any that we haven't covered, we'll answer afterwards, and we'll contact you directly on these, and then we can share with the wider group as appropriate. I'll also give you that email address at the end of the presentation as well. So with that, I'll now hand over to Simon.
Good afternoon, everybody. As Ian introduced me, I'm the RAC account manager and have managed the Key Choice relationship since its launch back in 2016. So my main role is to work with Key Choice in developing new products and managing those new products. But more importantly, is then working within their broker network and community to provide support, any product knowledge, to ensure that you have all the information you need to use and to sell the products. So as the slide here sort of mentions, we provide products to complement your motor insurance business, and we have since launch had our what we call kind of the core breakdown products. So that would be the car, bike and van products. But since then, and based on feedback from the brokers, we've introduced more specialist niche products. So we now have and have launched in July 2018 taxi minibus, motorhome and courier breakdown products to help then offer those to those niche areas of your business. And also as part of sort of feedback from the brokers, an LEI product for private car and commercial vehicles, and also a top-up insurance product, which is as we see and sort of from our sort of research from the industry as an improved gap product that covers all vehicles up to the value of £50,000 without sort of the exclusions of mileage and age, and pays up to a guaranteed 25%. And we're seeing that as a real simple product that you're able to introduce to your customers without the sort of variance and the complications of a gap product. So I'll hand over to Martin, who will also talk furthermore now around the benefits of RAC.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Martin. I'm the SSP's utilisation specialist working with the training and implementation team. So today we're going to look at the standalone or unconnected RAC products. So within the SSP system, you can either use the products as a standalone or an add-on. The problem the feedback that we had from brokers was that the add-ons were great, we could use them, but they had some limitations. So if they didn't have a renewal date that was the same between, say, the breakdown and the main motor policy, then they found it very difficult to sell. So feedback brought us to look at the what we call the unconnected or the standalone. So what are the benefits of RAC? Well, one of the major benefits is the branding. Many additions or add-ons or breakdowns that you get are white labelled or from providers that are not household names. As you know, people like brand names. They like the trust. They like the peace of mind of being protected. And with RAC, you're protected by one of the largest and longest established motoring service providers in the UK. Another benefit of the RAC is no age limit to vehicles, and this is something that I get asked a lot by you guys when I'm out on the road visiting. A lot of the other providers do set limits on the age of vehicles. Of being part of the Key Choice RAC, you get marketing support both on and offline. So that could be leaflets or marketing materials that Simon can provide for you, and what he also provides is any product training and support that you need, any questions about the cover that is provided, anything at all. Simon is available, and as are we at SSP. So moving on, we've got benefits of the integration. So one of the things that we saw in the market was that there were many providers out there, but you had to go on to different portals, go on, key in the information, buy, and then for debiting purposes for your client, you'd then have to rekey into your back office. So that's where the integration of the RAC products came out, and it means that there's no rekeying. Another benefit is that we've negotiated for Key Choice members competitive net rates, and this has given you control of your earnings, which suits your business. So one of the examples is that the most popular breakdown level of cover for a car is onward travel. Now that's got a net rate of £34.23 to you, and we estimate that the average selling price is £75 inclusive of IPT. So that's giving you £32.73 commission on that example. So as you can see, it's got great earning potential for you. And as we said, it's fully integrated into SSP systems, and that's Pure and Electra M3. It's available as an add-on and unconnected stroke standalone policies. Now, there's no pricing differential between either of them. We have seen in the past that an add-on is one net price and a standalone another net price. Well, the prices are the same, and you choose your own selling price on there. What's also great is that you've got instant access to your documentation. You can either print it out at point of sale, or you can retrieve from within your admin system at a later date. Now, if you want more information on any of our Key Choice products and RAC in particular, then we've got a microsite for Key Choice, and on the microsite you'll see all the product fact sheets, and that will also include the full net pricing and cover sheet on there. So we'll be sending this round after the webinar to you all, so that you can go in, have a look in there. We've got system user guides for both Pure and Electra, and as I said, you can have a look at the net pricing levels on there, and I'm sure you'll find that these are very competitive in the market. So what I'm going to do now is get onto the part of the webinar that I think everybody was interested in and came to see, and that's hand over to Mark Sharp, who's our training specialist on Pure Broking. Okay, thanks, Mark.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Simon. As we've heard about the RAC, it'd be nice to actually see the product being processed on the system. So if I may, I'm just going to share my screen. and we'll pop into Pure so we can see the policy being activated. So keep this simple. We'll start off first of all with setting up a unconnected breakdown policy. So again, much like any product that we're looking to sell on Pure, I can press my little briefcase here, and then I have the new quote button in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, the quote type, we have bundled all these together, will start RAC, and if we go into the drop-down menu, we can see not only the breakdown cover, but the two variations of the legal expenses, and also the, I'm excited to say that the top-up cover, which Simon mentioned a few minutes ago, and we'll have a look at that in a little while. The RAC breakdown cover, once that's selected, we've got the process of commercial quotes. Again, like any policy on the Pure environment, we can choose our cover date from, and I'm just going to continue now, and that will take us through the process. Now, for those that haven't seen the commercial trading platform before, you will now see that the screens will change as we move into the platform. Now, the nice thing is about this, there's no option for the double key, so to speak, because it will now drag some of the client information into the risk screens as we populate them. So first of all, I've got the confirmation for my cover start date. I've got my vehicle type. So again, like Simon mentioned, not only are we now offering breakdown cover for the usual suspects of car, bike, commercial vehicle, we've now opened that up for taxi, taxi, minibus, etc. And we can see that in the drop-down list. So we're going to choose private car. As expected, I would see some warnings now over the maximum tonnage of the vehicle, maximum length. And as long as the risk meets that criteria, we can then move through the fields. So first of all, I've got my cover level, and I'll go for the most popular, which is our onward travel. And you do have the DVLA lookup on the commercial trading platform, and that will allow us to quickly submit the vehicle details. Now, this information is editable, so if we are looking at a vehicle, a new vehicle that perhaps hasn't reached the credit organisations that pull back the vehicle lookup, then that can be edited ad hoc if need be and popped onto the policy schedule. So again, information about my client has pulled back into the risk screens. So I've got my address details here, and at this point I can select the quote button, and that will provide me with a quote based on the sales price that I would have set up in the background within the commercial trading platform. And again, I will show you how to set that as well. Now, you can save this as a quote, but however, we're going to buy cover by selecting the buy icon. It will then warn us to confirm that cover is going to be in force. And by pressing OK, that will then generate the policy, and then the documentation will be made available. So as I scroll down the right hand side, I can see I've got my IPID document, I've got my full policy booklet, and I also have my policy schedule. Now I can open any of these icons here and see the documentation in a PDF format, and I can print from here as well. And if you notice, it is in colour and of a good quality. So I'm going to close my document, and then I'm going to return the transaction back into the Pure system. So this is where the integration will now help. So if I return to Quote Manager, and we're going to return the transaction into the Quote Manager, so the Quote Manager sits between the Pure environment and the commercial trading platform. You'll then start to see the screens change as we move out of the commercial trading platform back into Pure. Now, it's pulled back the policy number. I have my insurer and risk information. As I go through the tabs, I can then complete my compliance tab. type of sale, method of sale. I can complete my contract certainty at this point as well. And the premium information tab has now been completed, including the correct level of IPT and the commission value, which again you would set up in the background. If I press OK to move through the process, I could put a note in for the event log as per any policy on Pure. I have my policy disclosure. And then we're into the back office where we can raise our debit. So again, I can choose my payment method, which is applicable. The premium information has been carried forward, and my compliance tab has already been completed. So I can press OK, and I'll see that little warning to say I haven't updated the details. Are we sure? I can produce an invoice as per the Pure system. However, what I will do now is close down the navigator for the commercial trading platform, and we'll find ourselves in the Quote Manager. So remember, the Quote Manager sits between the Pure application and the commercial trading platform, and it shows that we have a live policy, and I will close that down. When we're back into Pure, when we look at our policy list, we now have our debited policy. And with the full integration on the Pure application, I can go into Master, and here we have our copies of the PDFs which can be emailed to the client to assist with speeding up that sales process. Okay. Now, with any of these products, we may need to process a midterm adjustment, perhaps as a client changes their vehicle. And again, for those that are comfortable with the commercial trading platform, we would need to go through the Quote Manager at present, although the MTA button will be linked at a later stage. If you go back to your Work Manager screen, under CTP, you have Quote Manager, so it looks like a little filing cabinet there. And then this will allow us to go and search for our customer. As I press the magnifier, it will give me my client, and if I double click into it, I then have my live policy. And by double clicking into the live policy, you'll notice now that there is an adjustment button and also a renew button. So obviously in 12 months' time, you'll be able to invite and renew your policy from here as well. If I select the adjustment button, it will then give me my type of change. Now we're going to do a change of vehicle here, but you also have the option for cancellation if you need to enter that policy within the first 14 days of cover. I have my type of change, I have my reason, so in this case it was a change of vehicle, and I can even put in perhaps the registration number of the new vehicle in the description box. And when I press OK, it will then take me to the risk screens within the commercial trading platform. Again, as before, I can overtype. So if I have my registration number, and again, I'm using a private plate here, so you'll notice that I haven't put an asterisk in front of it, as there is no need. That will then pull back the vehicle, and I have my Renault Megane. As before, I can press the quote button. So you'll notice now that it's the same process for both new business and MTA. And from here, I can confirm cover at my nil additional premium using the buy button. There we go. As it generated the policy documentation, I can then now open the policy schedule, and that will note the new registration number. So at no point have I had to go into another web portal. I've done this directly through the system, which will then speed up the process of changing the vehicle and putting on cover. If I close my screen, I can then return this transaction, including any attached documents, back into the Pure application. As before, we can see the screen starting to change. Now there's nothing to update in regards to our policy, so I can just confirm. Again, I could put a note in for the change in policy. And as there is no additional premium, I can cancel out or void raising our debit invoice. So as before, I'll close down our quote manager. And when we review our customer, we can now see that we have both the inception version of the policy and also the MTA change, noting our change of vehicle and also the registration number, it has been changed to. So that's the new business process and MTA process for any of these unconnected policies. However, there are some minor setups that you need to do on the system so that you're able to see the risks themselves. So if I cancel out of here, and we'll just have a quick guide through the work manager. Now, first of all, when the product is activated, you'll find that you will need to update both the risk group and the risk code. So first of all, within risk screens, you'll be able to see risk group maintenance. And you can reorder this list by clicking on the description, and you should see the RAC risk group. By editing the risk group, you'll need to make sure that the commission is linked to a branch and to an account. So first of all, if it's multi-branches or a single branch, it will be the same process. I'm going to click all branches, select edit. I would put a tick in the box to say link exists, and then that can be mapped to either a personal or commercial commission. Press OK, apply and OK, and that will then save your change. And then at the policy level or risk code or risk type, within look at maintenance, you will need to look for risk code. And again, once it's selected, hit maintain. Again, you can reorder this list alphabetically if you so wished. And you will find that the individual risk codes are there for all the RAC products. So here, for each one, I will need to select my product, press edit, and you will find that there's a little button called sections. And here you need to make sure that premium subject to IPT is moved to the right-hand side to confirm that it's an IPT rated product. So what you would normally do is you would select the icon on the left, press your little arrow to move it to the right. Once you've made your change, press apply and OK and OK, and then repeat with the other three RAC risk codes. What that will then do is allow the RAC products to be listed when you select your new quote. Finally, you may wish to set up a sale price in the background, and that's done within the commercial trading platform. So if we go back to our customer and then go to process a new quote, remember, all the RAC products will start with the quote type of RAC. And here we can look at the top-up cover. Remember, the process is always commercial quotes to link it to the commercial trading platform. When you press continue, that will take you into the risk screens. Now, for every single product, what you will find is that there is a settings tab towards the top right. And when you select that, that will allow you to set your retail price between the minimum retail price and the maximum retail price. That retail price would include IPT. So if you're looking to sell it at £90, it can be overtyped at that point. Now that means amending your sale price is actually relatively straightforward and quick, so it can be updated on a regular basis if need be. And as we're now in the top-up product, again, we can see the sales process where you have the vehicle type. So again, bike, car, minibus, van. We have our registration number. Which is searchable through DVL lookup. And remember, again, this can be overtyped if that vehicle isn't appearing on the register as yet. Details of our customer have pulled across from our client record. And then when pressing quote, that will quote the sale price that we have programmed in the background using the settings. So there's my updated price of £90, and it's recalculated the IPT on that basis. So again, moving forward, the buy process is exactly the same. We can select the buy button, and that will take the transaction back into Pure. So that concludes the demonstration part of the WebEx. Now, while we've been waiting, there's been a number of questions I think have been starting to be emailed through. So I have, when is IPT applied to the premium? So as the selling price, which includes your commission, is printed on the schedule, IPT is calculated on that particular figure. I don't use Marketplace, commercially trading platform. Will RAC work? Well, if the commercially trading platform has been activated, then the RAC will work. However, if you are not sure, if you need guidance or assistance, please do contact us on Trainer Line, which is 0121 779 8383, and obviously we'll be supplying those details again at the end of the WebEx. And I think I've got one here, so just checked that the RAC is not appearing as a quote type. So again, that goes back to the setup where the commission needs to be linked to your branch within group maintenance. But again, if you require assistance, please do give us a call. Be delighted to help. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll pass you back to Ian, if I may.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so thanks all for joining today. I do hope you found the session useful and informative. Just to remind you of the email address for any questions, it's trainerline@ssp-worldwide.com. Or as Mark said, if you phone the trainer line, the number for that is 0121 779 8383. And use those channels for any additional questions, or if you want any additional assistance or information on these products. As Martin mentioned, there are a number of RAC product fact sheets on the KeyChoice microsite. We will send you a link to that after this, so you can click straight onto that and view those fact sheets following this session. We'll also let you know how to view a recording of the webinar, and any other questions that come through that might be worthwhile sharing with everyone. We'll send them through as well. We are keen to understand your feedback on this session, so we will be sending out a form asking for your comments. Please do complete this, as it does help us to shape these sessions moving forward, and we want to make sure that they suit kind of in terms of content and how we do it. We want them to suit you as much as we can, so your feedback is very important. And on that note, if there's any other SSP products or services that you'd like to see covered in future sessions, please do let us know. We're tending on doing these on a fairly regular basis, so if there's anything that you feel is important to be covered, it'd be very helpful to let us know that. So thanks again for your time. I'll now bring this webinar to a close. So thank you.